Hey everyone, Kim here, Abundant Life Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me for another Mystery Mystic reading. We are revisiting Asha Degree's case. I have recorded 7 previous videos. I even have a playlist for her. That link will be in the description box. This video will be time-stamped like the other tarot readings I've done for her case, okay? Check out in particular part 4 and 5 of this series for Asha that I've done, because it explores who is responsible and it looks at then the next thing, which is the level of involvement. At the time that I recorded those videos, we had heard about the Deadmans, the patriarch Roy and Connie, the matriarch, were named as suspects. So, you know, they're named. However, their daughters were mentioned to be involved as well. So when I recorded the series back in late October, I wasn't really comfortable mentioning names. I was just like the oldest daughter, middle daughter, or youngest daughter, that level of discussion. Well, you know, I'm going to go ahead and dive a bit further into these people who police have linked to Asha's disappearance, okay? Now, with all that being said, you all know I have to say that everything that we're speaking of is alleged. We are looking at what the cards are saying, right? Picking up on intuitive hunches, but also looking at what has been reported so far, right? So, with that being said, everyone is presumed innocent until found guilty in a court of law. And this is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Now that I got all that out of the way, let's get into this reading. We're going to do it a little different. So I'm going to just do a quick shuffle. If you're not familiar with this case and you want like a brief background from my perspective, be sure to check out part 1 of the opening oracle reading I did on her case, on Asha's case, okay? Because I do give a bit of a brief overview, and it's time-stamped. All right, so our first question deals with Roy. Question number 1. What does Roy know, allegedly? We have 5 of Earth. The key word on here is torment. Okay, this card flipped. We have the reverse 2 of Pentacles, or 2 of Earth. That's interesting. Okay. What does he know? Active case. Oh my goodness. Okay, friends, I'm gonna show you for this question number 1. Cold. And I'm going to be so curious to see what you all think he knows, okay? All right, so I showed you the tarot. First oracle card I got from my deck is Secrets Revealed True Crime Oracle, active case. I feel like he may have had some access to records in the past, over the past decades. Like he could see that it was active, but like he always knew all along that police had their sights on him, allegedly. Torment. This is alarming. 5 of Pentacles. 5 of Pentacles. He is somehow very much involved, burying something. What alarms me about what he knows is he knows that allegedly this was premeditated or planned. Suffocation. Now, this could be some sort of cause of death, allegedly, right? It could also be that, just like I mentioned earlier, that there was information that had always been known. and it was suppressed. It was suffocated. Okay. Preventing something from coming to light. We have here cold. What does he know? When I saw this card, I thought of a few things. I thought cold, like cold to the touch, death. Then I also thought cold, like he doesn't care in terms of the humanity for this child, for Asha, allegedly. Sorry, friends, I have to keep saying that, you know. So, yeah. He knows a lot. Active case, premeditated. Some of you may even would go to say, you know, he has a heavy hand in planning and this was premeditated. This is why police keep harping on pressing forward and treating this not like an auto accident, hit and run, cover up, but something a bit more sinister. You know, that's the feel I get from law enforcement as I'm, you know, reading the news articles, you know. So there you have that. What is Roy feeling right now as of March 3rd, 2025? Son, he's still optimistic. Father of fire. He's still very optimistic about the future. We have Father of fire, which is traditionally the King of Wands, King of fire, the Sun. I'm not getting a strong sense that he's feeling, you know, like anything bad is going to happen. He thinks this is all much to do about nothing. Look, we have affiliated. Who's he affiliated with? Why would this person, why would Roy allegedly feel optimistic, positive about the future? Now, this card, the Sun, can also mean a lot coming to light. But I just feel like next to the Father of fire, this is a sign of confidence that, yeah, things may come to light. But it's, you know, I don't have anything to worry about when it's all said and done. He's not worried. He's not worried about himself. I don't get a sense he's worried about his family having to ultimately do time. He feels confident that they, you know, whatever comes to light, and he doesn't have to worry. We have here affiliated. Affiliated could be that familial affiliation that I'm talking about just now, but also, look at this. Look carefully at the image. You know, we have criminal profile and affiliated. So he's got some affiliations that also has him feeling protected. I don't get a strong sense of fear from him. You all let me know what you think about that. I'm going to shuffle this half of the deck. What do you think about that for Roy? Oops. Hold on. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's see. One more card. Or two. Mistaken identity. That's a weird one. Baby. Child. Protection. What I don't know. Mistaken identity. Not quite sure what these two cards are speaking to me. I do get a sense with this father over the baby. That's an interesting dynamic, you know. And we have the baby card that's denoting a youth. It could be his offspring. He's optimistic about their futures being protected. It also could allude to something related to Asha. You bring forth life, you take a life. I don't know. I don't know exactly how else to interpret that, nor do I understand the mistaken identity. So I'll just sit with that one and continue to sit with it and see how it plays out. Mistaken identity also could be, oh, I know what it means. So mistaken identity is placing fault or blame on someone who is no longer with us. Say like Russell Underhill, allegedly. Russell was the one who had some, it was like a DNA match in some of the items in Asha's book bag, along with the youngest daughter. Okay, so that's interesting. But what I saw just now, when I look at this card, like, oh, he's confident. Roy is confident that he would be able to easily put this on someone else. And he's confident that he can convince the powers that be that's what you need to do. They also may even come up with some fantastical story about who they're going to place blame on, about maybe he had some relationship with Asha or something crazy. I don't know, allegedly. We'll see how this plays out. But yeah, we'll see how that plays out. What is Roy likely to do next? And as I'm looking at these cards, I'm realizing like his hands are not clean in terms of what happened to her at all. Let me reshuffle. And I'm only saying that because of the 5 of Earth, torment, the reverse 2 of Earth, and the suffocation, premeditated, and cold cards. I mean, and I'm concerned about this father of fire and baby. Okay, what is he going, I want to know, Spirit, what is Roy, going likely to do next in light of everything coming out? We have 2 of fire, 2 of wands, and this is an interesting one because it says domination. Okay, exerting his will. Oh my gosh, the Tower. Yikes. What is he going to do? He's an older gentleman. He is an older gentleman. So I feel like he's just going to continue to have his attorney fight his battles. But I have to tell you all, like, this is a meeting of will and domination. I feel like he wants to have full control over his life. I don't know. The Tower could be like him, God forbid, perishing or dying. Nothing to lose. Could be that he's also going to really go in on the person who is deceased, Russell, who has DNA on some objects in Asha's backpack, is the one. He had nothing to lose. It's next to the children card. My kids were just along for the ride with this misadventure card, and that he wants to hone in on that. But sometimes when I see these kind of cards together, it could be that somebody, him, since we're talking about Roy, could be contemplating even taking his own life. I don't know. This also could indicate his level of involvement with all of this. I don't know. Protecting of his children, or it's interesting. But what he's prepared to do next is sometime in early spring, there's some kind of falling down, falling out. Could be with his legal representation. It could be with his family, somebody, him, departing from what everybody else wants to do. And he's like, no, I'm standing firm on this. That I'm doing what's best for the family. The children card, I just next to nothing to lose. In the Tower, I feel like there's just more doubling down from the people who represent him or who side with him or who don't think that he did anything wrong, is that the kids were just along for the ride with Russell, and it was Russell that did this. And that's the story that he wants to go to his grave with. That's what Roy wants to go to the grave with. But something cataclysmic even in their lives happening during early spring, during the Tower period, March 21st to April 20th. It could be this coming early spring or next, I suppose, but feels imminent with this Two of Wands here. Feels quite imminent. So he's prepared to do something drastic. I'll be curious to see what that is. All right, I'll be back. Let me scoot this down and we'll take a picture of these cards so I'll be able to refer back to them in the future. Okay, so now we're moving on to Connie. Okay, this is the Mrs. to Roy, and she is the mother of the three sisters. All right. What does Connie know? What does she know? Look at that. The Empress, all-knowing, all-involved, father of air. Okay. Okay. Observant, seeing things for what they are. Protector. Would definitely protect her family at all costs. She knows exactly what she's dealing with her husband. That's interesting. Look how it's a mother and child depicted here. A sanctuary for the family to, to go to. And I think what caused the sister, who has been very emotional about everything, we'll get to her in a moment. I think it's Lizzie. I think that when her parents were named suspects, it wasn't her dad that they were so much worried about. It was their mom, Connie. And I had a feeling in the readings I did for Asha's case, something that came up was that law enforcement strategy was to start to get into the heads and hearts of the girls in order to elicit them or force them to say something, to have a guilty conscience. And it also had something to do with their mother, Connie. So she knows this, she still is like, you should just listen to your father. So let's see what else she knows. Because this definitely denotes that, yes, she is all up in the know. It's not like she's like just totally not knowing what happened, allegedly. Look at that. She knows. But I don't know if it's because she's old school. And she's just like, let's just follow the husband's lead. I don't know. We have collapse or ruin next to the father causing some sort of collapse or ruin. She's trying to prevent that, allegedly. It's being in debt to something or someone being in debt to her or her family. But I get a sense of somebody owing something, a debt. The father has a great debt, or I don't know. It's interesting. Or someone has a great debt to the father. And Beach. Although she's all-knowing, although she's protective of her family, the Beach card, I get a sense of her being on the side, not directly involved, based on this card, okay? Based on, the Empress, like all-knowing, yes. Protector, yes. Knows how this looks. Knows that this paints her, especially her husband, in a really bad light. Could have even been something said between Connie and about Asha's dad, to Asha's dad, allegedly. I don't know. I don't know why that came up in my spirit. But nevertheless, that's what we've got here for Connie. We're going to move on to her next question. What is Connie feeling right now? Now that all of this is going on as of February, we have here, it's almost sideways. The Magician, the Magus, but it was almost sideways, almost upside down, but not quite. We have Ace of Water. It was also kind of sideways. I'm going to leave them upright. But I think she still believes in them being able to magically overcome this, that this is just a, this is temporary. We have here manipulation. It could be that, you think of the magus or the magician as a manipulator, all right? Still trying to manipulate the story, manipulate the truth, distort things we see here. They also, maybe with the property, there's something about a sold property. I don't know. A property maybe she stays at. I know that her and Roy now stay in different residences. Something about the property. Either where Connie stays or where she used to stay. I don't know. But she feels like, to her, they've dodged some sort of bullet surrounding that. The living situation. I'm saying that because of the manipulation card. This emotional fulfillment coming after moving, a new beginning. Like, okay, maybe as we continue on with our life, starting anew, new beginnings, maybe new births over the years since what happened to Asha happened. Like, she just has this confidence. Like, I also don't get a sense of sadness. We'll see what this deck says, but I don't get a great sense of sadness here. Swamp. Yeah, I think that also this card could mean that maybe her husband is also influencing the narrative of saying, if it's all good, what do they have? This is, it's water under the bridge. I see this here with the swamp card. I don't know why that saying or phrase came to me. Now, the card that did fall to the floor, interestingly enough, is regret and remorse. Now, I did say I didn't feel like she felt sad, but it could be more regret and remorse. We would like to think about Asha. We would like to think, but I think regret and remorse for recent days of how things are coming about and the stress level for her kids. And maybe even wondering at times, could they have gone a different direction? She still is going to follow Roy's guidance and lead. We saw that here with the father of air, but I feel like regret or remorse could be tied to be feeling remorseful and regretful, because I feel like the girls have expressed that they are worried, and that has caused some regret or remorse about the situation. Maybe she might feel that way about Asha. Let's see. Does she have any regret? Does Connie have any regret or remorse about what happened to Asha? Okay, so that's good news. Temperance is a strong yes card. Yeah. But it's this energy that they've had collectively as a family that it's water under the bridge. It is what it is. You can't bring her back, and all these other lives should not be destroyed. Our life should not be destroyed because of what we know or what our level of involvement is in what happened. And that's the energy I keep picking up on. If you all are readers or mediums or psychics working on Asha's case, do you pick up on that vibe as well? I don't know. Let me know. We're going to now look at what is Connie going to do next. We have here the Lovers. She's going to stand by her man. I wonder why her and Roy don't live together. I think everything is just going to stay status quo and similar for her in her life. She's made her choices, she's saying. And it is what it is. She's going to just continue to have things be as they are. She's not going to say anything. She's going to keep the faith that Roy has the ultimate master plan, and she's choosing to not rock the boat. Now, with that being said, there is some mental instability coming down the pike for her in the next 2 months or so with the 2 of air. It says equilibrium. Her equilibrium physically, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually could be off. And something coming about in the Lovers period of May 21st to June 20th for her, or that being a time of significance. It could be someone's birthday, I don't know her birthday, but it could be something of significance happening. She just seems like right now, things are staying status quo for the time being, because again, she's believing that, look, bloodline, she's believing that this too shall pass. Okay, and look at this. Look at this Lover's card. It's got family trees here. All these little names here. These could maybe be offspring, I suppose. Or their lineage, or where they come from, this couple. Bloodline. I just get a sense that Connie and Roy are prepared to take some secrets to the grave. And telling their, you know, and look, paranormal activity and organized crime or gang. So being complicit, maybe not doing the actual crime, but being complicit by being a part of this, you know, criminal element of what happened. Maybe she knows of certain ties that she's relying on being protected from. Paranormal activity is interesting to me. I'm not quite sure what to say other than just, you know, she's prepared to take her secrets to the grave. She knows the level of involvement, especially as it pertains to her husband, especially as it pertains to her kids. We see that with the Empress. We see that with the Father of Air. She's on the sidelines. She either did some heavy manipulation and storytelling herself, or she's very much a part of a manipulative plan to cover up. She does hold a significant grief about Asha and the situation, but she just, again, feels like what needs to be protected here is the people who are living today. And that's what she's going with. I don't get a strong sense. I mean, I suppose this could mean that she may start to fess up to what she has to say, you know, but I don't know. I don't get a strong sense of that. The Lovers. Standing by your man or your family, taking things to the grave. Similar to what you see with organized crime or gang. Or maybe there is some element of some sort of organization of level of cover up, if you will, and she is privy to that. And maybe she, another reason is that, you know, for the safety of her bloodline and family, it's just best to take what she knows to the grave. Somebody being in a debt. I don't know. That debt next to the Father card is interesting to me. And collapse or ruin. So now we're moving on to Lizzie. And Lizzie is the oldest sister, daughter of Roy and Connie. And it recently came out that a witness saw her crying, bawling her eyes out, saying that she killed Asha. And then her sister, the middle one, Sarah, came up and grabbed Lizzie and told her to shut the fuck up, okay? And was like, be quiet, stop, pull yourself together. So Lizzie is the oldest sister, and she is probably the one that in the past readings I was picking up on that was really struggling with this. But yes, a witness came out and said that this exchange happened at a party that they attended, that the sisters were there. All right, so let's first ask, what does Lizzie know about all this? Oh, very much in the know. Almost like I could see, oh my goodness, I could see 7 of air, 7 of swords. I can see why she holds a lot of guilt. I can see it. Right off the bat with the mother of air. Okay, daughter of earth. Okay. Clean up. Remember, we're asking the question, what does Lizzie know? What does Lizzie know? Okay, let's see. Okay. This is all alleged. Timeline. And the affiliated card came out again. Okay. Let's get a card for her overall energy as it relates to the disappearance of Asha. Okay. Absent-minded. Drug. I feel like this has come up before. All right. Thank you, Spirit. We'll stop there. So, Mother of Air very much has, or at least in her mind, in her view, she is very much intricately involved in this whole thing. And it feels like this is not something that she necessarily wanted to do, but felt she had to do. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's what I'm getting with the Queen of Swords. Something she had to do, that she was like conditioned or coerced to do, and therefore she had to continue down a particular path, a particular way of handling this whole situation. She is part of the elaborate cover-up and deception with the 7 of air, 7 of swords, keyword deception. To compare it, right? If you want to compare, think about Lizzie's cards so far compared to her mom, Connie's cards. Connie's cards are softer, energetically speaking. She's got full knowledge of things. She understands the full nature of her husband and what he's about and what he does and what he didn't do. And, you know, she's old school. Follow what, even if you don't agree with him, you just follow his lead for the sake of the family. That's different energy here. That's depicted here. This energy feels more in line with what we picked up with Roy's reading at the start of this video. 7 of air, deception. Look at that. Look at that. We have a bird dropping something inside another bird. I don't know why I'm looking at this. It's like 2 children, one being lured. I don't know why that's what speaks to me. Daughter, who did she lure? Daughter of Earth, Page of Pentacles. This card could be twofold. She felt like if she didn't keep things quiet, she's hurting things for her sisters. Or this is about, who did she lure? What was this deception about? It was about Asha. So it's not just, sometimes tarot cards can speak not to just one person or one situation. It could speak to multiple in the same reading. We have here cleanup. What does she know? She was very much a part of the cleaning up. And that's another reason why she feels like she had to take this information and hold on to it. Someone told her that you're just as involved if you are, you know, cleaning up or hiding things or keeping secret or planning on how to clean it up as I am. Bones. She knows where the bones are at. This is a figure of speech, but it also could mean literally she knows. This card can be symbolic of the secrets that are inside of this family. It could be symbolic of her knowing exactly where Asha is. She knows that this young girl is passed on. As a result of this card, abducted or kidnapped. Now, this, I feel like similar cards came up, if not this one, in the past readings I did for Asha's case. And I kept wondering, what is police thinking here? Are they thinking this was a hit and run cover up or something else? And more, the cards are shaping up to say, no, this is something else. I used to handle investigations of hit and run involving injury or fatality in my former life, my former career. And hit and run, yes, it can sound terrible. Somebody could lose their life. But we're not talking tons of years in prison. And if you fail to report an accident, we're not talking years in prison. But for some reason, police are approaching this as if there's something more sinister going on. And like, I feel like the protections that this family once had are no longer there, the affiliations that they once had, and they feel wide open. Maybe it's affiliation allegedly with law enforcement, or not all of law enforcement, but maybe some key person. Timeline. I find that interesting. She knows about the timeline. Remember, this is the question of what does she know? I'm spending a little more time with this one, with Lizzie, with her alleged involvement, because she has not been named a suspect, but she has, they released this information that I think she's the one that failed part of a polygraph. Now, polygraphs aren't admissible. We know that. But there was some deception picked up, right? That's what the 7 of air. So it could be deception surrounding the timeline that she told police. It could be deception about how things unfolded before, during, and after the disappearance. It could be she's more of a critical part to this whole thing. And maybe initially unwittingly, this absent-minded, and then she end up being tied into it because she herself was young. Okay. She, young people, they make mistakes, or they don't always think wisely as they would if something like this happened when they were older. They would have chosen differently. Maybe she did want to choose something differently, and she felt like she had to keep this all covered up. Drug. Was there drugs involved? Is this an element of intoxication with her in present times or in the past? Could this mean somehow drugs are involved in this? I'm not quite sure how. Could this also mean the dragging of someone? Like this person was drugged. We know that some people say, or there was a witness that indicated that Asha was hoisted into the green vehicle. Not quite the same word as drug, but I guess it could kind of be that. Or it could be the act like a toxin, like a drug, but it could be both. So that is what she knows. All right, so now let's address, how does she feel? How does Lizzie feel about how things are shaping out now? Now that, police are starting to release more and more to apply pressure on her and her family. Oh, she's so stressed. 8 of air, 8 of swords, interference. Oh my God. Her anxiety is through the roof. Again, strong contrast to what her father was demonstrating that he's feeling with the Sun and the King of Wands, and her mom, I think she got the Ace of Cups. Strong contrast. She is stressed the hell out. Corruption. Oh my goodness. She's stressed. Anxiety, worried. She's been worried for months, and she will continue to be worried. Contamination. She knows that she is complicit in covering up, contaminating evidence related to a man with this father of earth. Could be also that she's leaning on a particular man in her life, someone maybe opposite of her father, for guidance, and this is her hope, her last hope in navigating the situation. But she feels knee deep up in this situation surrounding corruption, surrounding contamination of evidence and movement of evidence. And look at this card, rule or country. A barn. Maybe she even knows something about a barn, or something that's a structure, a barn, a structure that housed evidence or housed something. And she also had played a role in moving that too, or she knows where in proximity to a structure that looks similar to this, or was like this. Maybe the structure is no longer around anymore, but there was a structure that maybe Asha is nearby, and she's fully aware of that. Okay, we're gonna ask, what is Lizzie gonna do next? We know she's stressed out with the Eight of Swords and very excited, like she is almost inconsolable, living in her head. People probably notice her at, like, if she works in a work setting, that she's highly stressed. You know, she's, again, Father of Air shows up in this reading. Again, deferring in these next several weeks, deferring to, I'm assuming, her father on what to do in order to lead to victory. Hold on. Let me make sure I get that right. She is, I think that someone, a male figure, is going to convince her that, you know, this man has nothing, you know, like he's going to tell her, you really have nothing to worry about. Stop worrying. Just, you know, you're bringing all this attention to us. You know, what are you doing? And so she's going to start to calm down in the next 6 weeks or so. But nevertheless, I think that she's got some, you know, faith in legal counsel, in another male figure. Could be a partner, a significant other. We have here man. It also could be her father. Swamp came up again. This situation runs emotionally deep, but over the next 6 weeks or so, as we go into mid-spring, she is going to get some sort of relief and not do much of anything except for just kind of wait to see how things unfold. And we have vendetta. Someone is we're going to start to hear about someone having a vendetta against her, or her against someone else. I get a sense against the family, or the allegations are going to come out that people have a vendetta against their family because of their privilege. Okay. And so that's going to be coming out surrounding her, people who may be classmates, friends, family, neighbors. The way it's going to be shaped by her attorney is that people have a vendetta against the family. And this also could be that ultimately she may even have some protection here, something to an initial celebratory thing happening 6 weeks or in mid-spring, whichever comes first, and just reinforcing that she is from the privileged class, where she has some level of protection. All right, friends. Let me scoot this down so we can see the cards. All right, friends, so that's it. We're going to stop here. This is a lot. And the takeaway that I get is Connie is just being used to apply pressure to the other people that's involved here. Lizzie does have some high level of involvement, as does Roy. We're going to look at the next part that I'm going to do is covering the two other sisters and Mr. Underhill, the one who had DNA found in the things that were in the book bag, Asha's book bag. So we'll cover that in the next video. And the last video I want to do is looking at, what does police think? What is their theory here? What is, you know, the attorney? What is the defense attorney's defense strategy going to be? Or what they're going to start to say? We already got a taste of what the strategy is going to be here with Lizzie. That this is a vendetta, that the right person is the one who had the DNA in Asha's book bag, and there is nothing else, but this is just a witch hunt. So we already kind of know that, but I want to go into that a bit further, and then I want to touch upon what was Asha's perspective of what happened. So that's going to be in the last video, and then that should bring us all up to speed as it relates to the latest updates in this this harrowing case that's been going on for 25 years. All right, friends, do me a favor on your way out. Please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, okay? because that's how you, oh, and hit the notification bell, because that's how you will know that I'm dropping Mystery Mystic readings. Again, we're back. All right, friends, take good care. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.